Got a fucking text message saying Scion Ascendant was changed, and I'm like, hoopla, here we go. Hey guys, Matt Lighty, and today I'm discussing, well, the recent Ascendant class changes. This is the first time I'm looking at this. I actually haven't seen it yet, and just in case I have a side-by-side comparison of the current Ascendant classes and what it does. Just for the overview, a Scion is the class, Ascendant is the subclass, Scion is in the middle of the skill tree. Each person has their own starting point. Scion's in the center. That was supposed to be her initial advantage. Now with the adding of subclasses being Ascendancy subclasses, she got Ascendant as her Ascendancy class. Supposed to offer flexibility because you can go different routes, and you could even, go from people's starting areas. This way I could pull up and start from Witch or start from someone else. So if there's a scenario where it makes sense you're traveling really, really far across the tree, like I want to get, Eldritch Battery and Iron Grip and Ancestral Bond, stuff where you're traveling crazy amounts, it might be worth to play Scion. In general, she's been pretty shit for a long time. Arguably the worst subclass at the moment, maybe behind Saboteur. Let's take a look at the new changes. Okay, so these are the changes. Alright, so these for a side-by-side comparison. How do I do this? If I bring this like this, side, drag this a little over, just gotta get the windows right. If I just get the full image, this can go farther over. Alright, that looks good. So, first off, we have Necromancer. 20% skill effect duration. You and your minions have 4% phase reduction. You and your allies deal 30% increased damage while affected by auras you cast. You and your allies affected by your auras have 20 cast rest, so it's not per aura. That replaced all the corpse consuming shit. Okay, so arguably a strict upgrade. We have Occultist. 20% increased energy shield, remains the same. 1%, nothing has changed. Yep, and that's fine. Occultist was arguably fine. I don't see any problem with Occultist as it was then, and it is now. Elementalist. Oh, Jesus. Alright. Went from 4% reduced LE damage taken to just gaining the Reflect. 6% LE pen. Conflux for 6 seconds when you kill a rare. And an additional golem. Holy shit. So Elementalist is really, really, really strong. Wow. So an additional golem is actually kind of insane. But just 50% reduced LE damage taken. A large draw for Elementalist builds, at least the ones that aren't using it for the Prolof specifically, take it for the Reflect immunity. So that is actually huge. I can honestly just see out the gate, biggest problem that EA Explosive Arrow had was, Reflect is a big issue for sure. That's why they had to often run Purity of Fire on Essence Worm Ring. So I could see them doing Elementals and maybe some sort of Ranger thing down the road. I'm really curious to see what the fucking Ranger changes are. Next you have Saboteur. Okay, 20% chance to create a smoke cloud. 5% increased damage for each entrapment mine you have. Movement speed for each you've placed a minor trap in them recently. And they have been armed for 4 seconds to deal 50% increased damage. Huh. See, that Saboteur thing's actually kind of huge because which have been armed. So that means you just gain 50% increased damage when you're doing any sort of bossing, essentially, because they're going to be pre-laid. Smoke cloud's fine. Damage is whatever. And the movement speed is kind of nice. 6% LA pen versus 50% increased damage. It's honestly less of a gap than you'd think. Cooldown recovery speed for throwing traps. Yeah, I would say it's a pretty big increase. Good Assassin, is that going to get nerfed is the question. Nope, it just got buffed. More base crit, 33% more base crit basically. 20% chance to gain a power charge on hit against full. Same. Crits with attacks, same. Assassin just got strictly better. Trickster. Increased rate, yep. More evade, yep. More damage, yep. 15 flat mana regen per second if you'd used a movement skill recently versus 100% mana regen. I mean, that's one of those things where it's obviously beneficial at a lower level, but can you break, what's the break point for when 100% is better than 15%? That's the question, I guess. They've done, they've done every, oh no, they haven't done everything. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they've done them all. Crazy. They're just showing them all. There's just no holding back, I guess. Pathfinder, this is nerfed, okay. 10% move speed, dope. 50% chance to gain a flak charge until a crit. What? Oh my god. So it's surgeons, alright, basically. It's just better surgeons. Increased damage while using a flask. 10% chance of flask not to consume a charge. Fuck me. Better. just better. It's definitely heavily towards crits. I mean, you have surgeons versus this 50% increased flash charges gained, so it's a big old fuck you to non-crit builds, I guess. Deadeye, 30% pierce, 30% prod speed, okay. Projectiles gain damage that travels further, yep, up to 50% increase now. Again, extra projectile still there. So they replaced the attacks have 15% chance to cause bleeding with prod speed. I mean, I could still honestly see Deadeye elementals for EA, and then 10% frenzy on kill. No, now it's on a hit though. Good, good, good. Onslaught 1 full frenzy. Yep. Raider's okay. Pathfinder still seems like it's really fucking strong. 20% fortified melee hit up from 10. 20% taunts the same. Nearby allies give 30% on fortify up from 15. And then the 4-1-1 on the taunt. We have Gladiator, 3% block chance. Attack have 15% chance to cause bleeding. So this seems like the only value so far that's been nerfed. Nope, I read that in the wrong direction. It has been buffed also. We're losing the 30% spell block, and we're gaining 3% movement for each hit you've blocked recently. So a bunch of move speed, but I don't know how often you'll be blocking and moving. Here's the big one. Yeah, I saw this. I kind of saw this one coming. So Slayer Calling Strike has been taken away and replaced with the half Fizz Reflect damage taken. Increased damage against rares and uniques. That has stayed the same, but it's increased the damage. Life leech effects are not removed on full life, so they replaced the overkill damage leech with overleeching, which overleeching is much better, so that's great. Your damage hits always stun enemies that are on full life. Same thing, they had to add damaging hits for people that were cheesing it for certain ghost busting type mechanics. Alright, we have Juggernaut increased, chilled, 20% instead of 10%, can't be stunned, so that wasn't really buffed a whole lot. Chieftain, 15% ignite chance, 30% damage for a totem, 2% regen while you have a totem. Actually wasn't changed. Really? Huh. Okay. No change to Chieftain. Not completely surprising, but still. That's, yeah, didn't see that one coming really. Berserker, increased damage taken, 10% more damage, 1% damage leeches life you killed recently, that's still there. And then they've taken away the savage hit. Well, actually, they've nerfed it, but they've added movement speed. And cast is still there. Huh, yeah, they nerfed Savage a little bit, they added move speed. So it just gives you Onslaught. Why would they not just say 20% increased attack, cast, and movement speed if you've taken a Savage hit recently? I guess they don't want to say Onslaught for overlapping reasons? Maybe? I don't really know. Okay, Templar, finally. Let's go do, we'll do Guardian first. 3% block has been changed to reduced curse effect. Every 5 seconds reduces the ailments. You and your allies affected by auras have 5% blocks. They just repurposed it and retitled it. And so everyone around you gets 5% block, 10% attack, cast, and movement. You and your nearby party members share power charges, so it's conduit for you and everyone else. I mean, it's about the same. A little bit better, I guess. Inquisitor, 20% Ellie to 25. 8% reduced. Same crit chance. They upped the conk ground from 20 to 30%. Hierophant, that's what I'm interested in. The still has the helm totem, 25 damage there, 10% mana, that's yes, and they've buffed the chance to power charge when you place the totem from 20 to 50%. That is a lot of chance. Crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, I mean, all these changes are pretty huge for Ascendant. You know, a lot of Ascendant things were super niche, and it's good to see that she got more flexibility, at least across all of her fucking ascendancies. Whether or not it's still gonna be worth it to push for a start of another class, it's hard to say. It really depends on the builds. And all these changes are, you know, they're fine and all for sure, but a lot of them hinge on how good the other ascendancies are gonna be. Like, these changes, I don't think still doesn't bring her really in line with stuff like current Pathfinder, current Raider, current Slayer, current Elementalist. So I'm going to assume these are under the assumption that the other things are going to be heavily gutted in some way. A lot of these changes, kind of like the fact that they removed Culling Strike from Slayer here, makes me think like they're going to change Culling Strike on Slayer in general. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about the subject. And I look forward to the Scion changes. So I look forward to updating the Bladefall Totem guide to match the some of the new Ascendant changes. So I'm Lighty. I'll see you guys later. And, you know, fucking do what you do.